So the article you guys read, Taming Tantrums. Taming Tantrums is what's called the central concept of the article. That's what it's about. Just to review, just to clarify that a little bit, if you're going to read an article about taming tantrums or you're going to talk about it, what does that concept have to include? Not even worrying about what's in the article.
Why they're throwing it.
Why they're throwing it. Good.
How to control it.
Good. Trey, what do you say?
Behave.
Okay, so it needs to talk about behavior. Because tantrums are about behavior, at least in part.
Punishment?
Okay, so it might include punishments. Why is that?
Because if they're throwing it for no reason and you can't stop them, they should get in trouble for it.
Okay. Okay. What else does the concept of taming tantrums include? We've got why they're throwing it, how to control it, behavior, punishments. What else do you think?
What the parent should do.
What the parent should do? Trying what else?
How to calm down.
How to calm them down. Taming tantrums, what is that not going to include? If you're going to read an article or have a conversation about taming tantrums, what's not going to be part of that?
Good behavior.
Good behavior? Good.
I guess it's kind of under behavior.
Right, but it's focusing on,
Good.
tantrums aren't generally good behavior, right? Usually if we talk about tantrums, we're talking about, maybe we can specify this a little bit more. Yeah. Usually tantrums are considered bad or difficult behavior. All right? So taming tantrums, if we're going to read an article about that, if we're going to talk about it, hey, come on in. Probably not going to be talking about good behavior. We're just reviewing that concept of taming tantrums. And we're on to what it doesn't include. Yeah, I'm videotaping myself while explaining it.
I was like, did you?
We're going to be famous. What else does taming tantrums not include?
Out of control, punishment, bad behavior, punishment, good behavior. Is it like means not what to?
Yeah, what's not, what does that concept not include? So if we read something, if we're talking about taming tantrums, what's not going to be part of what we read, what are part of what we're talking about?
Reward, how to reward.
Okay, right, because typically we don't reward tantrums. So it's not going to include good behavior, it's not going to include reward. Trey, what do you think?
They're not going to be happy.
They're not going to be happy? And when you say they, do you mean the kids or the parents? Okay.
Positive moods.
Okay, positive moods or kids being happy. Usually if they throw a tantrum, they're not feeling happy. Great. Anything else?
We came up with so much last week, I guess. I don't know what we came up with.
You guys did come up with a lot. You've got a pretty good list going here too.
I think I put a picture of it.
If we look at what you said that taming tantrums would include, why they're throwing it, how to calm them down, how to control it, what the parent should do, bad behavior, punishments. Is there anything else that a good conversation about this or a good article would have to include that we haven't covered? So
Well, I guess
tactics,
that'd be how to control it,
how to control them, but specifically, specific tactics.
like steps and stuff.
Okay. This article definitely focused on tactics. Anything else that you would expect a good conversation or a good article about taming tantrums to absolutely include?
Or there was like, advice from different parents.
Advice. Okay, good, because if it's,
A specialist who to see
for example,
to get help.
a specialist. Right, because taming tantrums is oftentimes thought about as a problem, right? So advice would be pretty logical. Great. Good, so really nice work here, clarifying the concept, kind of gotten it back in our heads and gotten clear about taming tantrums. And I'm going to take a picture of this because I think it'll help us when we loop back at the end of class to work on tying it to the real world. So, I'll erase it. And you guys might want to take a picture of this too, because then you'll have it on your phone when we refer back. Do you guys have a phone with a camera with you?
I got it from last week. It's the same as similar. We got a lot of this stuff from last week.
Are you saying you don't want to capture this one just in case there's...
Well, it's more color on this one, so I'll take a picture because you work hard on this one. You add a lot of color.
Oh, you have an orange marker.
Yeah.
She had a red one in there too.
My phone's picking that up.
Sorry, I tried mine one. Is that your husband's iPad?
Yeah. My first time taking it out of the house.
Was you nervous?
What's that?
Was you nervous?
Maybe. He didn't say it was though. Hopefully I don't forget it here. But if you'd been here earlier, I'd see that you probably should have been nervous since I
Oh
pretty
my
much...
gosh, I dropped the overhead thing.
That thing?
No,
Oh, that thing.
yeah.
Oh.
It made a really big noise.
Made a
and
really
it
big
kind of
noise.
fell apart.
Did nobody help her carry it? Oh, that's what you said.
No, I was just sitting here
That's what
watching.
happens when you're late, Philip.
I was just sitting here watching her struggle, honestly.
That's so rude.
I was so comfy.
Watching somebody struggle is kind of comedy, but it's so rude.
Kind of comedy.
It is. Just like watching somebody fall down the stairs. It's
You have to
comedy.
laugh and you gotta be like, oh, are you okay?
Yeah.
Kind of like how I tripped you last week.
You laugh first. Then
Oh my god, I was on the ground laughing. I had to crawl to the elevator.
Casey pushed me last week.
I'm sorry to
I
hear that.
didn't push, it was more like a shove.
Right after class, she pushed me.
With his, he was in his moccasins, so there's no grip.
Purpose, main idea. You guys, I get new glasses this week.
You're getting new ones? Can you see right now?
No. And I'm getting contacts too.
Is that hard to read this?
Have you ever had
There's a
that?
glare. No, I never had contacts. But
Right.
They're really hard to put in at first.
Who can read it for us?
purpose, main idea.
Critical means.
Critical thinking standards. Yeah.
Is critical thinking standards 1? Or is it 2? Like standards and then critical thinking? Or critical thinking standards?
3 words.
Okay, just want to make
Is
sure.
that what you're asking?
One, like,
You get into like, you know, like there's
One idea.
purpose and there's the main idea.
Got it, right. So, coming back to, I don't know if you guys remember any of the critical thinking standards that we used last time to evaluate. Philip?
Relevancy. Like,
All right.
Is it relevant?
Awesome.
What is that?
accurate?
Yeah, accuracy.
Oh god.
So with a P. Precise.
Oh,
Look at you, Trey.
little tray over there. There was one more. There's
Precise,
four.
or I'll say precision.
Was there 4 of them or?
Yep, there's one more, you're right.
Oh my god, I can't think of it.
Precise, accuracy. Clarification.
Yeah.
Oh. God, you're just too smart. You can leave now. I'm just kidding.
I got here, I've been here for like 10 minutes, you tell me to leave?
Nice, you guys. Clarity, accuracy, precision, and relevance. So as As we look today at Trang and Casey's summaries from last week, and we try to decide whether or not it's clear, on a scale of 1 to 5, we're going to rate it, 5 being super clear, couldn't possibly be more clear, 1 being not so clear, 3 kind of in the middle. How are we going to know?
Well, since we read it, we'll know.
Okay.
It has to be clear, so it has to have like supporting details that go with it. It has to be clear to understand, like the way it's written.
So supporting details, I'm going to capture that here because we're going to come back to it.
It has to capture the mandate and the purpose.
Our support details, when we come back to that, that's going to fall under your key information. But what, when you just read that sentence, like when you read the 2 sentences that Casey and Trang wrote about the purpose of this article is, how are you going to know whether it passes the test of clarity, if it's clear? It makes sense. So I'm going to put that into a question form that you can ask yourself. Does it make sense? It's a great way to put it. What else?
Does it capture the main idea of the
Okay.
article?
Is that going to go under clarity or might that even go? Okay, accuracy.
And it's more like accuracy and precise though. A little both.
Okay. And so does it capture?
Does the main idea capture the main idea?
Right. Does the statement of the main idea capture the actual main idea, right? And what about precision, Philip? You're onto something there. What about precision with main idea?
Precision, have to remember, has to go like the details, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that the details are like accurate, they go with the, like your purpose or the main idea.
There's supporting details
There.
too.
Staying just with purpose and main idea, not getting to support details quite yet.
It's the like the details that go with your purpose. Is it precise?
Okay, good. So I'm going to rephrase that and tell me if you agree. Is there enough detail? Is there enough detail in the purpose statement and in the main idea statement
To make it precise.
to make it precise? Okay. Does that make sense? Is there enough
Yeah,
detail to make it precise? Because part of being precise is having enough detail.
So there's no clarity or accuracy, there's not going to be any precision.
You could be clear without being precise. So if I say the main idea of this article is how to get your kids to throw more tantrums.
That'd be a horrible article.
That wouldn't go with our concept that we clarified, would it? But is that a statement that is understandable? Does it make sense? You can understand what I mean. I'm just wrong, right? So I might get a 4 or 5 on clarity, but how about on accuracy?
0.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. And okay, so precision. What if I said the purpose of the article is to talk about children's behavior? Is that how's that doing on clarity?
Yes.
It's clear.
But it's not
What
it's not.
kind of behavior?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So it's more about 3
Okay, and 3 in
More
which
clear.
in which standard?
in the clear part. It's clear in the 3.
So I only get a 3 for clarity if I say the purpose of the article is what did I say it was?
About children behavior.
The purpose of the article is to talk about children's behavior.
It's a 3 because we're getting close. We're talking about children. We're talking about the behavior, but what type of behavior?
When you ask what type of behavior, which standard are you getting at? Go ahead.
Precision.
Precision. All right. So Philip, I think that
That's the detail.
you're actually giving me feedback about precision. What would you give me on precision there? 1 through 5.
2.53. You get a 2.75.
2.53, 2.75, somewhere in there.
Circle the middle.
I think that sounds fair. Okay, good. My precision's, I'm a little bit too broad, right? Good. We're going to worry about relevance a little bit later once we get to key information, but these are your three main points. These are your three main points, your three main standards to analyze your purpose and main idea statements. So next step is in a group of three.
Take the whole class, and we must 3.
And I'm going to turn this around.
Yeah, I kind of lower it a little bit.
Do you mind being taped, Philip?
Oh, I thought you meant like turn it around, mean like, you know, get ready for class. Never mind. Sorry.
Let's see here. I'll move it a little later.
I'll have my people call you people to talk about the contracts and how to
The payments.
Yep.
All right. I look forward to that. Go in the meantime.
You do have people, right?
Do you have
All right, cool. Yes.
Oh, like that.
Taking a look at this handout. Casey, can you read what it says at the top?
Evaluate your statement. Evaluate your statements of the office purpose.
Great. So you'll use this as you read through Trang and Casey, both of your purpose statements. And what are you going to ask yourself to evaluate the clarity?
Can I understand these things?
Can I understand it easily and or
It does make
does it make sense? Philip, could you say what you're going to ask yourself to determine accuracy?
Is it consistent with the text say? Is there anything important about what the author was trying to do that isn't mentioned? Is it broad enough to include all the important information?
Great. And what else could you ask yourself?
Does it capture the main idea?
Thank you. Trang, third one.
It is enough detail to be subjective, but not so much detail. That is the only key information.
Yeah, good. And what else could you ask yourself?
It is enough detail to
Make it precise. Good. All right. Do you guys feel ready to use these standards to analyze the work that Trang and Casey did this week?
Let's go.
Let's go.
It would be the marker for number 9.
How's this?